Hey y'all, got another update here on my tower. I'm getting ready to actually put some more water in my reservoir, so I'm just going to show you how I do that. Basically, this is my plant reservoir that I've got, my tower that has all my different vegetables that I'm growing. Got basil, Swiss chard, and kale. And I've got my reservoir lid here, and it's looking kind of low, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how I fill it up, how I check the nutrient levels, and exactly what I'm putting in there. But you can see just a little ways, it's about a quarter of the way full, and I don't want that pump to run out, so I'm going to fill this up. But first let me show you how I do my nutrient solution. Okay, for my tower and a couple other deep horticulture hydroponics, I use General Hydroponics FloraNova. Since they're in the growth stage and these are greens, I'm going to use the FloraNova Grow. And then on my other plants, when they actually get to the point where they're going to bloom, I would go to FloraNova Bloom, and that would help get real nice fruit set on them. So this is very concentrated. You don't need much. I've had this bottle for about 6 months now, and it's done excellent. So it's going to take it and put it into my measuring cup here. I don't need very much because I'll dilute it down with water and then add it to my reservoir. It's about all I need. That right there is probably about 10 mils, not very much at all. And then, like I said, I will add water to this, and then I'll add it to the reservoir. There we go, that's better focus right there. So you can see it. I actually won't end up using all this, but I will use some of it. So stand by, and I'll show you what I do next. Now that I've got this full, I will show you what I do next. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is just fill this up with water to get that solution diluted. There we go. And then I'm going to fill up my reservoir to where I can test the ppm levels. And then I will add the nutrient solution and make sure that my reservoir is about 450 to 600 ppms. Okay, now I got my reservoir filled up. I'm going to take my TDS meter and I'm going to put it down in my holding tank, measure my ppms, and then pour my nutrient solution in until I get my ppms right about where I want them. So just put this down here, move it around a little bit. ppm is reading out, let me do this again because the focus is terrible. Okay, as you can see, I've got my ppms reading about 474. I'm going to bump it up about 100 ppms and retest it and see where we're at. Okay, now I got my nutrient solution, so I'm just going to pour it in and just measure as I go. So poured about half of 100 mils, so about 200 mils of that diluted solution. And now I'm going to test my ppms and see where we're at. Alright, I don't know if you can see that or not, but ppms are reading about 556 now, so looks good. I'll put the lid on and just let this thing continue to water. So just to recap, I filled up my 300 ml cup. I tested my ppms. I filled my cup up with about 10 mils of the FloraNova and diluted it down, and then poured about 100 mils into this 5-gallon reservoir that I've got. And it's about where I like to keep them, 450 to 600, and I have great success with my leafy greens doing that. Thanks.